Okay, so hi students. So previously we already did until here, question number 4. So today we are going to do question number 5. This is so this will be October 2020 paper variation 43. Let's move on to question number 5. Magnesium is an element in group 2 in period 3 in the periodic table. The periodic table is shown in picture 24, page 24. So let's look at page 24. So we can see page 24. Let's find magnesium. Where is it, magnesium? Magnesium is just now the question said group 2, right? So we can see that magnesium is here according to the exam paper. So the exam paper already given this this number and the element, correct or not? Because this is the symbol, atomic symbol. Here also already say the name. So the name is the magnesium. It's even labeled for you. This is the relative atomic mass, RAM, and the 12 is the atomic number, or I will say it's the proton number. Okay, so let's look at the question. So from here we can see that the relative atomic mass is not the same as the nucleon number, but usually I cannot say like that leh. But one thing we know lah, I think we just refer to here better. I don't want to talk about the relative atomic mass because the question we are going to do is talking about we just look at this number, okay, 12. 12 means the proton number. So usually the proton number 12, also it has 12 neutron. Okay, usually it has 12 proton, it will also have 12 neutron, it also will have 12 electron. So these are the usually, and if it has proton more than electron, it will be positive charge. If electron is more than proton, it will be negative charge. So let's look at the question. So we know the proton is 12, and usually the 12 is the neutron. Relative atomic mass is not the nucleon number, so we cannot use this one to minus this one. Okay. So let's it's given the question. Sorry. Let's look back at the question. Oh my gosh, wasting my time at here. Okay. So we remember that the proton number is 12. So the nuclear number of the magnesium is 24. Oh yeah. So the questions give you, okay, nuclear number is 24. So according to the formula, we already know that magnesium proton number is 12 because just now we already look at the picture, right? We look at the picture just now, we found that the proton number is 12. So number of proton will be 12. Number of neutron will be what? What is the formula to get neutron? We know the formula. Nucleon, up to you lah. I prefer to just remember that nucleon equals to proton plus neutron. So proton is 12, nucleon is given by 24. 24 minus 12, I get 12. So the answer will be 12. And we look at just now the periodic table. We also look at here is 24, but this does not refer to the nucleon number. Some periodic table give you the nuclear number, some they give you I think most of it will give you related atomic mass. Okay, so that's why it's important to look at this thing, because different book or different picture will give you the different periodic table. Sometimes they give proton number on top, sometimes I'm top left, sometimes top right, sometimes bottom left, bottom right, whatever sequence they want to change lah. That's why it is important to refer to the key so that we can understand. Yeah, so here is related atomic mass is for calculation of chemistry. Okay, that this number we also need to use, not to be confused with nuclear number. And sometimes students confuse because hey, this also 24, this one means nuclear number. No, it doesn't mean nuclear number is related atomic mass. Both got different function. Okay, related atomic mass usually we use for calculation of mole and so on. Where was the paper? So yeah, so you get 12 and 12. Describe the relationship between the number of outer shell electron and the metallic character of element across the period. So as the electron increase, the element become less metallic. Okay, as the electron increase, the element become less metallic. What does it mean by less metallic? Means it less of becoming a metal. Let's look at the periodic table. So that we go to the right, is going to become less metal. Because if you still remember the periodic table is metal, then what? Semi-metal, non-metal, correct or not? So we can look at the here. Oh, here it didn't write. Oh, here it didn't write. Yeah, here it didn't write. Yeah, so this is the example of the picture of periodic table. As you can see, here is 1, 2, 3. You can see there's a slight difference, okay, in terms of how they label it. But one thing we can see from this picture, actually it's good to do it in color. Because in color, we can see on the left side in group 1, it is alkaline metal. This one you need to remember for group 1. This one is alkaline metal, group 2 alkaline earth metal. Then transitional metal is here, semi-metal, then non-metal or other metal. So we can see from the left to the right is from metal, semi-metal, non-metal. So as you increase the electron, eventually usually the electron and the proton is always the same, unless maybe we want to say it got charged or it is isotope. It's isotope lah, when it means it has the same number of proton but different number of neutron. So as usually the electron increase, the proton number also increase because it tends to be balanced, because we are not talking about different charges. So we can see when it increase in proton, for example, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to the right. So it's becoming less metal. But of course the question say is electron. But so you will say, hey, electron also same with proton. Man, no, electron is not same as the proton. But the outer shell of the electron does determine the position, okay, the position of the element from the left to the right, which from metal to non-metal. Okay, so as the electron increase, the element become less metallic. Correct. Okay, because the electron actually determine the position of the element. Okay, the shell and the electron. Magnesium chloride contain magnesium ion Mg2 plus and chloride ion Cl negative. So these are the ions that are in magnesium chloride. We call it ion because we know that magnesium chloride is an ionic bond. Ionic bond usually is from metal and non-metal. Correct or not? Magnesium on the left side and chloride on the next another side. So this is an ionic bond. Ionic bond also usually mean one donate electron, another receive the electron, borrow the electron. Okay, deduce the formula for magnesium chloride. So what is the formula for magnesium chloride? So it will be MgCl2, correct or not? Because here is Mg2 plus, correct or not? Mg2 plus, in order to balance it with -1, so I just put Cl2, okay? So that it is balanced, because eventually magnesium will donate 2 electron, chlorine will borrow 2 electron, correct or not? Not magnesium receive, but magnesium give, because sometimes students confuse whether magnesium want to take 2 or give 2. Magnesium give 2, because if you still remember, if I want to draw the valence electron, it will be 2 electron at the outer shell. So it's easier to give 2 rather than to take 6, because you want to make it balanced. Either you give 2 or you take 6. So it's easier to give rather than to take. And for chlorine, if I can draw the outer shell, chlorine will have 7. So he just lack of 1 more electron. So it's easier for chlorine to take 1 electron rather than to give 1 electron. Okay, so it will be MgCl2. So yeah, it's good to understand this, so that maybe some other question we need to use this back. Magnesium is produced by electrolysis by molten magnesium chloride. Okay, so it's an electrolytic process, you know lah, electrolytic process. If I want to explain the whole electrolysis, why molten magnesium chloride, why electrolysis, it will take another 1 hour to explain this. But roughly we know that when we see this, we know that they need to use molten rather than liquid, because they need it to be more concentrated. So either magnesium or chloride will be discharged, rather than you use aqueous solution, because magnesium is already quite high at the series of reactivity of metal. If you are down, below carbon, you can use carbon electrode or other metal. But since magnesium is already at the top list, so you might want to use molten magnesium chloride in order to discharge withdraw the magnesium. Explain why magnesium chloride must be molten and not solid. So this is an easy question. Mobile ions for electric to pass. So this is the answer right by student, but maybe the student can improve by saying it contain mobile ion for electric to pass through. Okay, so I just add some word it contain mobile ion for electric to pass through, correct or not? If the thing is not molten, when we are talking about ionic bond, ionic only can conduct electric when it is in the molten stage, because it got the mobile ion. If it is solid, then you cannot conduct the electric. Because why electric can be conducted? Because there is mobile ion. Let's say this is a metal. So if this is metal, there's electron that can move. So this metal can conduct electric because it got the mobile ion in the metal. Then another thing, I take the rubber, for example, rubber, and if there's the electron is stagnant and it cannot move, so it cannot conduct it. That's why metal conduct electric, because it got the ion. Why rubber cannot conduct electric? Because it got no mobile ion. The ion is stuck at there already. So you cannot conduct electric. Okay. So basically we have 3, right? Because the student asked, metal is solid, but metal can conduct electric. But actually metal is not ionic bond. Metal is actually metallic bond. So it's a different thing. Metallic bond, ionic bond, and covalent bond. Okay, so you need to remember that I shouldn't write like this lah, but I just say out loud so you remember. Metallic bond will conduct electric, solid and liquid. Ionic bond only will conduct electric in molten and not other solid. Covalent bond cannot conduct electric either in solid or liquid. For example, covalent bond like maybe diamond or water won't actually conduct electric. So yeah, so this is the difference. Then the electron can move. That is why, because metal the electron can move, also you can bend the metal. It is more malleable because you can bend it. The electron is actually shifting its space rather than covalent bond. Like for example diamond, you cannot bend it because there's no really mobile ion in it, and you bend it, it will be brittle, it will just break. Instead of metal, when you like that, the electron part will just move. Okay, something like that lah. I don't know how they do it, but it's something like that. Okay, so describe what happened to a magnesium ion Mg2 plus at cathode during electrolysis. So in order to do this question, so for this one, the student will get 2 points, because for mobile ion you will get 1 point. So this one, for mobile ion you get 1 point. And why? Because electric it can conduct electric 1 point. So eventually the student will get 2 points. Describe what happened to the magnesium at cathode during electrolysis. Use your idea about electron. So basically, if we know electrolysis, I always do what I do is I just write anode and cathode. And I know that magnesium chloride, magnesium is attracted to the cathode and the anode, and at last the magnesium will be discharged because they are using the molten concentrated magnesium chloride. So we know that magnesium is being discharged. So if it's easier to remember this if we can write the half equation. So the half equation is magnesium 2 plus, and it will so it will gain 2 electrons to produce magnesium. Okay, and for the chlorine, okay, so the half equation for the chlorine will be 2Cl negative. You will get Cl2 plus 2 electron. So one will gain 2 electron, another one will donate 2 electrons. Sure one gain 2 electron, another one must donate 2 electron. And because we discharge the magnesium already. Okay, so I think the easiest way to remember is if you see here 2 plus, then you just 2 plus, then you just remember it's gain electron. Very good. Plus 2e. This is for half equation. Exam won't ask for combined signs, but it's good to understand because at the end of the thing, electrolysis, what you get is magnesium, and at the end of the anode, I mean the cathode anode, anode, what you get is the chlorine gas. Okay, because it's group 7, so it usually exists in gas. So you get a chlorine gas. Why 2? Because there's a 2 electron here, so you want 2 electron. And by the way, it's a chlorine gas. You won't usually write Cl, right? Usually it's Cl2 because it is a chlorine gas. I think the easiest way to remember just remember that if this one is 2 plus, just remember it gain. If negative, just remember give. But the correct way to remember, I think, is to write out the half equation. Then from the half equation you can see, but this is too long I also don't want to teach this one. So magnesium gains electron for 2 marks. So this question, how many marks the student will get? The student will get 1 point only, because the student say gain electron, another point is 2 electron. This one more point, 2 electron. So the student will get 1 point. Then the 2 mark is let's say I write the answer. Maybe I just use red color. Magnesium will gain 2 electron. Okay, so 1 mark will be given on gain electron and another mark will be on 2 electron here. So you get 2 points. So that's why the student just get 1 point because the student just said gain, but the student didn't mention 2. So you guys just get 1 point. Magnesium chloride is made in the reaction between magnesium and dilute hydrochloric acid. So what you get magnesium. Wait, I just highlight it so it's easier for me to see. Magnesium chloride, what you need to do is you just use magnesium plus hydrochloric acid, dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay, maybe for safety purpose, you don't want to use a concentrated hydrochloric acid. The temperature in the reaction mixture is increased, so the solution become hot. So if it become hot, it couldn't be endothermic, it must be exothermic, because the exothermic, one of the definition is the surrounding temperature increase, so the thing become hot. Explained by this reaction in release of thermal energy, use the idea of bond breaking and bond forming. So basically the question asks, use the explain exothermic in terms of bond breaking and bond forming. So the student say during the reaction the molecule vibrate and bond forming. Yes, because we say that it become hot, so usually it vibrate, and bond forming, you will get 1 point for this one. Okay, 1 point for this one is a bond forming. Okay, and then one more point is energy is being released, and more energy is being released. More energy is being released than taken in. So this will be the another point. Okay, so this from here the student will get 1 point. Moving on. Show a space telescope for detecting gamma radiation from distant star. Yeah, so we can see that the star, we can get the gamma radiation, which is not healthy. We know that gamma radiation is not healthy, and of course when you are in the space, it is even more unhealthy because there's no atmosphere to block the gamma ray at whatever. You straight away get 100%. At least we on Earth, we got cloud. Cloud is good because cloud can block the if you know if cloudy, you can go out and play. Okay, you won't get sick. If it is hot under the sun, you don't play at the playground because there's gamma radiation, and so the atmosphere on our Earth is really help us a lot. Show the portion of gamma radiation in electromagnetic spectrum, figure 6.2, right tick in under radiation. Lowest frequency is this one you just need to memorize lah, okay? Radio wave, and the highest frequency, the X underneath radiation that causes sunburn is the ultraviolet light. Correct or not? The sun produces ultraviolet light. And you can even see your Google apps, the weather app also got mentioned how many ultraviolet light that is happening at your area. Yeah, so I would say that gamma radiation, ultraviolet light, microwave, infrared, they move in the same speed in the speed of light. In case the question asks, oh, gamma ray, which one is the faster? No, everyone will move at the same speed in the speed of light, which is around 300,000 kilometer per second. Per second. Per second. Let's see the galaxy. Let's see the size of galaxy. As you can see the size. Galaxy. This picture is good. So this is our house. Where is our house? It's somewhere around here. I don't know lah. Somewhere around here, and this is the Milky Way, where our house is. And we can see from the Milky Way, the length is not kilometer, no. It's not 100,000 billion kilometer. It's 100,000 light years from here to here. If a person can travel in the speed of light, you need 1,000 light years to travel to here. And imagine now we can use the space telescope not to see the Milky Way, but we can even see other galaxy. This is one of the galaxies called the Milky Way, but we can even see other galaxy. So we will never able to see the actual present, even in terms of the from here you want to see to here. What we are seeing now is eternity in the past. Wow, just amazing. And now I just wondering, like, now when you look at the star, if you really have a good telescope, you are not looking the star right now, you are looking the star thousands of years ago. And this is what happening. And very beautiful. We can see the star 1,000 years, because we cannot see the star now, because it really take a lot of time for the time to reach the earth. So explain why not astronomer give information today. It's not they does not give, they cannot give. There's no way you can see it. How to see it, unless you do like Guardian of Galaxy, you take the terrestrial and you teleport to there, then you can see. Other than that, there's no way for you to know, unless there's a teleportation thing. So maybe we can say that it takes a very long time for the gamma ray to travel billions of kilometers. Okay, let's put where's my pen? It takes billions of it takes a long time, sorry. It takes a long time for the light, for the gamma ray or the light to travel billions of kilometers. Okay, of course it is even billion, okay, because that's why they don't use billion kilometer, they use light year, because the number is too big. Moving on, the astronomer measure the wavelength of a gamma radiation received, which is unhealthy. The wavelength of the gamma radiation is 2 × 10⁻⁻14 meter. The speed of the gamma radiation is this one. Calculate the radiation. So this one you need to write the formula. If you don't know the formula, you cannot do. So what is the formula? So in case you want to find, you just need to you can just Google and just press how to find frequency with wavelength and speed. The reason is so that a student can learn themselves rather than waiting for the I mean a student should try. Sometimes I also don't know, so I learn a lot of things from Google. So that's why Google is earning a lot of money. A lot of money. Okay, so V equals to F lambda. V is the speed, correct or not? V is the velocity, usually is ms. F is the frequency, and this will be the lambda, which is the wavelength. Okay, so this is the wavelength. So write the formula, you will get 1 mark, and then we try to do. Okay, so F equals to V divided by lambda. V is what is the V? V is 3.0 times 10⁻⁸ divided by 2 times 10⁻⁻14, and press your calculator. So you try to press your calculator, you should able to get 1.5 times 10⁻22. And if you cannot get, you must try because sometimes students don't know how to use the calculator. Maybe you can press like this: 3.0 times 10 power of 8. You put a bracket for the old type calculator. Divide, you open bracket, 2 times 10 power of negative 14, or close bracket, equal. You should able to get this answer, 1.5 times 10 power of 22. Okay, so this one you must get correct, because this one you need for your mathematics and science, because this is it's so wasted if the student know how to do but the student didn't manage to press the calculator correctly. Okay, so this one point, and the answer you will get 1 point. Figure 6.3 show 3 penguins on a clear sunny day. Radiation from the sun hit part of the penguin body more than other part. Name the electromagnetic radiation from the sun that mainly responsible for this heating process. So for the heating process, this thing is called the infrared. Okay. Suggest which part of the penguin body are more heated more than other part. Give a reason. Their back which have dark color because dark color absorb sunlight. Correct. Okay. So black color actually absorb more sunlight. Okay. But of course, black color also is the so of course one thing that this one usually student know, because student always know that black absorb heat, so you don't wear black color shirt, and you don't also wear white color is better, because white actually can reflect heat rather than absorb heat. But when we are talking about radiation, it depends on the question. If the question change to radiation, sometimes students tend to say that black also black actually white radiate heat faster. No, actually radiation is black radiate more heat compared to white. Let's say I take a metal ball. Let's say this is a metal ball. I burn the metal ball, and this is the black ball, this is the white color ball, and I put in the vacuum because I scared the wind blow ma. So I want to do an experiment. So I put in the vacuum chamber, and I use a thermometer, infrared thermometer lah, where I can scan you, and eventually you will find that the black color ball cool down faster than the white color ball. So it depends on the question, and this one actually also apply to our daily life lah. Not only maybe for the umbrella you want to take white color because can reflect heat, shiny white. That's why we see that usually umbrella choose the shiny silver color or white color which can reflect heat, and but now very high tech. Now umbrella they don't not just shiny, they got a few layer so but it works good. Okay, question number 7. Show a mistletoe plant growing on a tree branch. The mistletoe plant is attached to the branch by structure that grow deep into the wood. Okay, so this is the branch of the tree, berry, and this is the plant. The mistletoe plant obtain water and mineral from inside the branch. State the part of the flowering part. State the part of a flowering plant that has this function. So what function is it? Obtain water from inside the branch. State the part of a flowering plant that has this function. So the answer will be the roots. Okay. Name the mineral ion that mistletoe must absorb to make chlorophyll. So the answer for this one is what? Okay, it's not water. The answer is magnesium. Okay, we only study 3 deficiencies. Okay, deficiency in magnesium, where it's needed for the plant to make chlorophyll. So deficient of magnesium, the leaf is not green color. Then also in our IGCSE syllabus, of course there's a lot of things needed by the plant, but in our syllabus we also learn potassium and also nitrate or nitrogen. So what is the deficiency of potassium and nitrogen for a plant? Yeah, deficiency of potassium, the leaf will turn yellow. So we can see from here, nitrogen is to make leaf. Without nitrogen, there will be a stunt growth. Phosphorus for making roots. If not, there will be poor roots. Potassium for making flower and fruit. If not, there will be yellow leaf. So yellow leaf actually got 3 actually. You see yellow leaf, and yellow leaf. If there is a deficiency of nitrogen, potassium or magnesium for the plant. And then phosphorus, you know lah, phosphorus usually like the fertilizer, is it? For phosphorus, nitrogen and phosphorus more towards like the fertilizer. I think magnesium and potassium will be needed lesser. I'm not sure, but I think lah. So yeah, this one you need to remember lah. Not water, so the student won't get any mark. So this one is tenek. This one is tenek. Explain how a deficiency of the mineral needed to make chlorophyll affect the mistletoe plant. The leaf will turn yellow and wilt, unable to photosynthesize, poor growth. Okay, so for this one, you at least the student make it correct, but just write it in terms of a sentence. Like for example, the leaf will turn yellow and wilt. This one you will get 1 point. Then don't say unable to do photosynthesis. Of course, it's still correct. Okay, we just put it correct. The reason is just make it into a complete sentence, because maybe you can say that due to its lack of deficiency, it cannot produce enough chlorophyll, and without chlorophyll, the plant unable to undergo a process of photosynthesis, or due to lack of chlorophyll, the rate of photosynthesis is being reduced, so it will have poor growth. Okay, this one I'll say can. Okay, poor growth. Okay, or it will have a poor growth or reduce the carbohydrate. So for the yellow leaf, you will get 1 point. Lack of photosynthesis will get 1 point. Another point is or just now that I explained, okay, how because you need to explain a bit lah, because the lack of chlorophyll, therefore the rate of photosynthesis will you will get lack of chlorophyll, you will get lesser rate of photosynthesis. Okay, so this one I give 3 points.
Okay.
Okay, small birds such as thrushes feed on berries on the mistletoe plant. Cats feed on the thrushes. Hawks feed on cat and the thrushes. Thrushes is the... Okay, so for this one, the student won't get any point. 0 point. The reason is the question say what? Construct one complete food chain. What do you mean by food chain? You can see a chain. A chain means it's a chain. There's only one chain. You don't see like a chain suddenly got 2 chains come out. That one won't be called a chain. That one is maybe I don't know, a trap. I don't know. But usually a chain is just a chain. Yeah. So the student will get if the student didn't do this, the student will get full mark. Okay, mistletoe, thrushes, then cat, then hawk, then you get full mark, which is 2 points. You do like this. I straight away give 0 point because this is food web, not food chain. So but let's say if you're one wrong, maybe you still get 1 point. But this one, the student answer up from the question.
Okay.
Explain why the hog can be described as a secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. So basically you just explain hogs feeds on cat, so it's the tertiary consumer. Hog also feeds on it, which means it's the secondary consumer. Correct, okay? Because you eat the first one, you also eat the fourth one, okay? So this is why you get correct. Where is my pen? So you get 2 points. Okay.